roster now, as the rest have been reshuffled, removed, etc., will perform. Mike, Sykin, and Oscarish, obviously the new guys, last stand-ins for them. Hopefully they'll do pretty good on Mirage as well. Most people would say Rogue are the better team, but we'll see. So knife round win. Good start for Alternate, who will probably pick the city side, I would assume, unless that was Rogue winning. And because the scoreboard always confuses me, but I do think it was Alternate aTTaX indeed winning that round.
Yes, I think it was.
And they did select T side. That's actually why I got confused. So Alternate will be opting to start on the T side, which we don't usually see on Mirage. It's viable, but it also makes me think that they have something pretty special planned. Just kind of surprising, considering they're basically what most people would consider to be a mix. So, hey, hopefully some surprises up in store in this league for us.
That definitely would be good to see a close quarterfinal. Maybe this is the one, or maybe it's the one coming up afterwards. But, well, right now, looks like we're going to be going live. Rogue starting on the CT side, Alternate aTTaX with the new roster on the Terrorist side. And we'll see how this one is going to go. Buy seems fairly standard on the CT side, and on the Terrorist side, yeah, pretty much the same.
The most standard of all standard pistol rounds buys, you'll see, really. And for those of you asking the question, no, Rogue is not the Swedish team. Sivo just picks flags according to the nationality of the team captain. That's why Rogue are indeed tagged as Swedish as well as Alternate, despite the fact that, well, only 2 of the players are German, are tagged as German. What is actually going on is a quick, aggressive push up middle, but Rogue gets them 1-2 kills, and now it's just being a bit of a brawl as Alternate aTTaX are basically falling apart at the seams. Maybe they had something planned, but it sure doesn't show, as Rogue basically just walked all over them.
They couldn't even get close to one of the sides. That's pretty much it. I mean, Glaze pushes up, well, KDM pushes up, Glaze helps him out from window, and that's it. That's it done. Alternate aTTaX nowhere near to actually getting this bomb planted. Now in a 4v1, Oscarish has made his way onto the A side as the auto director is still deciding to stick with KD, and apparently he just likes to look at him and look towards the A side, where might be that the auto director actually knows something that we don't. Maybe we're going to be staying here because KD is going to be getting this last frag, but well, so far Oscar is just playing behind that firebox, trying to peek out there, and is going to get spotted out. I think his dome just showed above those boxes. Bubble is on the other side though, so yeah, 4v1. He needs to land these shots one after the other, and not going to happen. He literally gets completely surrounded. Like a pack of shards, the CTs take him out. So 1-0 in favor of Rogue, as a bit of unconventional tactics wins them the round.
It was unconventional, but it was executed well. Glaze was in the window, covering up KDN and Tensky, who pushed up middle. And they just got one frag up mid. Once the underpush tried to come in, they completely forgot that, hey, someone can be in window, and Glaze got another free frag, and after that, Alternate were already 3-5 down. It's hard to get back into it. That's a pretty good way to start off your Eureka round. Crispy just walks out mid, doesn't give a damn, promptly shoots Tensky in the face. That's a bit of an advantage for Alternate aTTaX. Not something they got on the pistol, but I guess Deagles versus Rifles will do the job.
Weagle boys. It's not really
The Danish Eagle.
Yeah. This way at least it works. Let's see. A Swedish flag as we send, you know. Just it's the Sivo client, so it's not it does not necessarily represent exactly what the hell is happening. Oh, Kadian gets spotted out, gets tagged slightly, just a warning shot. Down to 50 he goes, but has to be a bit scary going forward, since well, this is looking pretty good for the terrorists, as they have gotten a lot of control towards middle, now boosting themselves into window, and they might be able to intercept the CTs on a couple of rotations if they play this correctly.
Crispy is being expected though, and decides to turn around at exactly the wrong moment, which gives Glaze a free kill. And again, if Crispy gets that kill, I think Alternate aTTaX win the round, basically, just due to map control. Instead, Glaze gives them back some semblance of control. He's still stuck in a pretty bad position. It's going to be hard if the A hit does indeed come out. Problem is, Alternate have no smokes. They're going to have to go in and out-aim the enemies, provided Rogue played this properly with flashbangs and everything. Should get this, but I guess the Deagle beats any sort of utility, as there's just Deagle headshots flying everywhere right now.
Oh, the Deagle is obviously superior to the rifles. That's what we are being told by the gods of the Deagle. There we go, Oscarish again. Oh, this is actually happening. The bomb is planted 2v4, and the CTs are trying to get the hell out of there, it feels like. I don't think they're going to be going through the murder hole right now. It's just, they just need to get out of there, and they will.
And the badly have to. That wasn't even anything special coming out, just all of the shots hitting. The Deagle just completely on point. Oscar is just completely wrecks anybody. Anyone more, it's a third for him. Alien goes down, and it's going horribly wrong for Rogue. Victor, the only one left alive, is probably quaking in his boots right now because Oscarish is on an absolute murder spree right now. Takes him out, but wow, what a round for Alternate, and Oscarish especially just walks out, takes names, and basically wins the steamed round.
Rip right there. And there's the counter Rico. And I guess that's what they were looking for. That was all a calculated ploy to get the CTs going, to make them think that they're good, and then just crush them, crush their spirits. And let's see if the Scout is going to be able to bring it back slightly. Cadian trying to land a couple of shots, but, well, there's the frag grenades, there's the incendiaries, and he needs to get the hell out of dodge. Rotating towards the B side right now, but, well, this is going to be deep mid-control already for alternate attacks as they are moving towards connector. Quite aggressive push from Rogue as well towards slope, so they should know that nothing is forthcoming from a slope as flashes start coming across. The CT should be in a good position to expect them though.
Yeah, it's kind of amusing. They're all going in from the chain choke point and they're basically boxed in by Rogue. They need to land 2 or 3 kills here quickly, or Rogue will just pincer them in, and even with pistols they can deal a lot of damage in these positions.
Well, there you go. There's the 5-7. Might be finding a second one. No, not gonna happen. Still 2-for-1 trade right now in favor of Rogue as they are playing with the force buy with pistols, a rifle, and armor sets right now. Cadian is still landing the shots. There's the scout shot onto Syken 4v2. This is actually happening. We're just gonna see this back and forth until someone finally breaks in terms of economy, and we see 2 rounds in a row. This is going to be a good flash from Oscarish, but he takes his sweet time landing that spray. Tensky rushing out to the side will get intercepted by Crispy, and we go back into 2v2. Victor and Cadian still guarding the cross. The bomb should be in the open. Victor playing from CT should be hearing Crispy run away. Good flashes. Oh, Victor takes the bait. No peek from Crispy just after that flash, and that pretty much saves his life. Now Cadian is left in a 2v1, and, well, with a scout, he's gonna have to be completely insane to actually get this done.
Not impossible if you manages to land a headshot onto Crispy. Oscarish is low enough. Let's spot him, but Oscarish is just hiding behind now, and now Cadian can't do anything. Honestly, could just as well consider going either for exit frags or saving the scout. It's going to be another eco round for Rogue regardless, who did force into this one and made a really good go of it. It gets Oscar and now likely just run away. They had a really good go of it. They got into 2v4. The only problem is, well, Oscarish came up from ramp, flashed himself in and got that one frag. If Oscarish goes down there, that's the end. That's the round for Rogue. Instead, they had to have place check towards the palace, and that meant that Crispy just got a free kill and gave them back control of the site. On a knife's edge, and Rogue did the best to come back into that one, but it just simply was not enough, and now we have, I'm not really sure what's going on. Yeah, a timeout, as it looks like the coach disappeared for one of these teams. And he's back.
He's back. We're going to continue with this game fairly soon, so no issues just yet. Hopefully everything has been running extremely smooth for online CSGO tournament, at least so far. Definitely a good showing from ESPORTS Arcade. And let's see how this one's going to continue. The round has been resumed. No money on the CT side. Cadian did manage to save that scout plus the armor with the smoke in tow as well. So we'll see if he manages to provide a couple of weapons for his teammates. He's going to have to land all headshots because, well, alternate attacks have armor at this point. So 2 Mac-10s looks like a quick push towards the B side is going to be the answer versus the scout, not letting them poke away from a long range. And, well, there's the Mac-10s already doing some work. 1 or 2 trades so far. Victor still on the side, finally gonna get sidestep. My guess, getting place as well, and, well, now it's a 2v4, but all of the terrorists are so damn low. Cadian should just switch over to the pistol and he might be able to pick up 3 kills. Instead, well, he just goes down. That was so damn close again for Rogue to make a stand on the B side, but just not close enough as alternate attacks go up 3-1.
That was way too close. It was a messy B rush. The alternate attacks players just kept getting stuck into each other in apartments. The AK goes out in front of the MAC-10. All hell broke loose. There was a stack of CT players on the B side. That's why you don't go for those aggressive rushes on anti-eco round. In the end, alternate attacks did come out in front. They were all so low and they still lost 2 players. So all things considered, I think Rogue can be pretty happy with their 2 eco rounds. Definitely kept the pressure onto the alternate economy. They'll have a pretty solid one off the back of winning an eco round. But at least one player doesn't have enough to rebuy. So some job well done there. Now it's just down to winning these rifle rounds, and aTTaX picks up the first kill, wisely backs off, advantage already for Rogue, and pretty good hold on middle still. Not necessarily just backing off and letting alternate attacks get the whole run of it.
That was very good positioning from aTTaX as well. Got into position quickly enough on that short, and just a bit of an off angle, not something that you expect every single time. So good pickup. 5v4, definitely what they needed if they want to get back into this round. Obviously, the CT side a favored one, and well, Rogue, kind of the underdog, I feel like, versus alternate attacks. I don't even know what are the odds like across a couple of sites.
I'm assuming that the last time I checked, this was actually one of the most even matches in regards to odds. It's slightly in favor of Rogue, 60 to 40-ish, which I think is a pretty fair. It's pretty fair as far as odds go, as alternate are a fairly new roster. We don't actually know what to expect of them, and Rogue did beat Godsend, so obviously people are expecting great things of them, but definitely one of the more even odds we've had so far today.
Alright, so let's see how this even matchup is going to go down in a 4v5. Technically a 4-on-4, but Searstone and Oscarish and Searstone again just bring it back into 2v4. How has this just devolved in this situation? Again, the CT is not being able to guard any kind of crosses. aTTaX completely ineffectual from short. Good damage done onto Mike, but he's just gonna back off towards slope and gonna be fine. The bomb is planted for him, so he's not gonna be too worried about that, and the CTs need to save.
Nothing special really coming out from attacks. They just went on the side, but they did it in a coordinated fashion. And Searstone, while he doesn't care about boxes or walls, he's gonna shoot you through it all the same. Picks up 2 headshots through the box, the triple box, and that's it. Rogue fell down on the floor, and nothing they could have done. We'll probably try to save these rifles. Alternate really can't afford to hunt too much either, so that's likely to be all of the action we get, unless someone else decides to throw away a rifle. It's a diff on aTTaX, and he has no armor. If he goes down here, that's really bad for Rogue.
Oh, this is gonna be bad. Oscarish is hunting for him. He's gonna push the angle. No, he goes down. aTTaX quick enough with the arm, so he's gonna be able to retain that one, and that's major, because otherwise they would not have enough for force buy in this round, which is obviously going down. Buying a couple of rifles plus a EMP for Victor, and the off again on aTTaX, but he's gonna have no armor. So yeah, no money whatsoever. He needed to buy a rifle for one of his teammates. Last cannon it is, as the terrorists seem to be posturing for a standard A execute.
They don't actually know what Rogue have though. It'll be safe to assume that the Dayforce did force, because aTTaX did keep the AWP. If they assume this is an eco, it could be a lot of trouble if they just walk out into the open without any support.
Bubble was in the perfect position, gets spotted out. The fire just slightly hurts him, but gets 2 frags instead, and it's 2-4-1, actually 3-4-1 trade in favor of Rogue as things stabilize, and it looks like our alternate attacks are thinking of maybe backing off. But honestly, it feels like it's more of a fake. They're gonna get spotted out. Bubble just continues pushing the former E-Frag member. And, well, we have 1 minute remaining, but only 1 terrorist live with an AWP as well. And Mike is gonna do his darndest to get this frag and actually drop Bubble. Brings it down into 3v1. Is this actually happening? Or, yeah, he's probably just gonna get shut down. Running back towards the B side, however.
He has time. He still has 40 seconds courtesy of a really fast executed by alternate. He can go A or B or play around with the CTs, but if the CTs play this right, you have the AWP anchor one side and have the 2 rifles on the other side, and their mobile can just rotate in as soon as the AWP basically spots my guess. The AWP spots my guess. Okay, you let him get the bomb plant, and then you just come in 1v3, easy as it gets. Seems like that is indeed going to be the case. Tensk is going up to check towards apartments. We'll give them the info that this is indeed most likely going to be an execute, and Mike is not even going to go for it. He's just going to save this up. They're going to take it into the next round. They'll have enough to buy. He has 4,750, can drop his teammates and still buy full utility. In the end, probably the best decision here. Could have gotten the bomb plant, but it doesn't really matter. All it would do is get Crispy or Oscar is slightly more utility. That's really all there is to it. And Rogue, they do finally come out ahead. Top of a force buy that Alternate just kind of walked into the site without proper flash support, and Gideon just had the run of the show.
If he's going to be able to do that again, obviously last time he had no armor, so this time he's got the utility as well to just back him up if things get too dicey. Flashes, incendiary, and a smoke. So let's see what the terrorists are going to be planning next. Are they going to be walking into Cadian again, or is it going to be some other bomb sites to be hit at this point? As it looks like they're pushing to go for a B split, getting a lot of control towards middle already. Incendiary into window, smoking into connector, and now thinking of moving towards it, but well, that's gonna be a lot of damage done onto Oscarish, completely unnecessarily. Glaze on the other side in connector. The smoke is good enough, so he's not gonna be able to spot out anyone across it, but not anymore as the smoke clears and Oscarish gets picked off. One of the big hitters for alternate attacks, as this execute towards the B side seems to be just getting dismantled step by the CTs, as Tensky chimes in with the M4 as well, and Glaze even gets the backstab from Apartments. 3-4. Rogue on the comeback, and, well, the money not looking too amazing for alternate attacks.
Rogue did the job on those ecos they had, kept the economy pressure up, and now alternate, they're reduced to, well, an eco of their own, as that run just didn't go to plan. Glazing connector, amazing position, heard everything going on, instantly called, okay, it's a B. Tensky rotates in, and absolutely nothing alternate could have done. They just got picked off, didn't expect 3 players there. And there we go, back onto an eco. Crispy with the Deagle again, going back to what worked in the second round. Deagle peeked out mid, but this time, with no armor, with no Deagle on Oscarish, I do believe that Rogue will be able to calm themselves down and take this round in the end.
Before pistols win, well, there's the one! Oh my god, he was actually transitioning from target to target and gets the headshot onto Tansky. I don't know if that was luck or skill, but it worked out. 1-for-1 trade so far, though. And the auto director just... well, there we go. Finally switching over to Bubble. As, well, most of the terrorists are actually moving towards the B side. Still having control over mid. And Crispy getting boosted up there, but Glaze going to be waiting for him. So there's the kill. There's another one in favor of Cadian. Only Mike and Psyche remain. But Mike's going to do some damage here. Gets a lot of weaponry from that shot. And now, well, they have sniper room. Where do they want to go? Either B or A, but it's 50-50 where there's more defenders.
They're trying to sneak into CT, and if Micas gets the kill here on Victor, which is unlikely to happen, Victor expects him, promptly takes him out. Plan was to have Micas get someone on the rotation, sneak into Market or Reader into CT if they're gonna go A, gets a kill, and then Syken would work off the back of that. In the end, it ends up not working out, and KDN lands a pretty simple shot from short. No utility obviously means it's going to be pretty hard to get anything done. And in the end, it's Rogue. They calm it down. Tensky did get absolutely demolished on middle by Crispy, so something going for alternate attacks. It still is going to end up with a 4-4 scoreline. So alternate do have enough to buy, and Rogue, their economy still isn't quite far away yet. So all things considered, a very even map so far. Neither team really taking the advantage right now.
Nice change of pace from the 2 previous quarterfinals. Tensky opening up again, aggressive push towards the upper middle, and that's going to be Cadian with another frag out to Serson. The incendiary comes back into underpass already, so that's 2 frags, completely uncontested for alternate attacks, and they're left wondering what the hell do we do now. Looks like it's going to be a B hit eventually. They need to land a shot, but already the rotation's coming across. Victor's going to be there. It's going to be 2v3 at best for the terrorists. As, well, there's flashes. Glaze with 1 shot onto Syken, as the remaining terrorists are kind of wondering, do we even go for this?
I feel like they will, simply because of the fact it's a 2v5 with 1 minute remaining. They don't want to spend that long saving, because the CTs will likely just hunt you down, push in various spots of the map, and yeah, there we go. The execute's coming in with 2 flashbangs. It's gonna be a bit of a dream scenario, but maybe they can pick up a frag or 2.
It doesn't feel like it. Pushing through the smoke usually not really conducive to picking up frags. At least if you're not a complete monster, or cheating for that matter, but I think neither of teams are. Right now, Rogue on 5, alternate attacks on 4, and no money again for alternate attacks. So it's getting to the point where Rogue are going to be able to run away with things if they manage to keep their composure.
They definitely are starting to put the pressure onto Alternate. They got knocked onto Nico again, which was finally a rifle round win for Rogue, not something they've had many of, basically just 2 the entire half. And it shows that Rogue has something planned. We saw that mid-push there. It was basically the pistol round strategy all over again. And Alternate tried to adapt to it. Rogue just still executed better. And now, well, this is a common strategy. You send 4 into Palace with the bomb, and you try to push out. There was no accompanying flash from ramp, though, and they all promptly got shot in the face. So a bit of an uninspired attempt there. Well, not really uninspired, just missing the necessary utility to make it work. And now, 5 players staying alive. Rogue are actually starting to run away with the economy. Alternate badly need this round, or it can snowball completely out of control.
Yeah, I just want to mention the spray control on Sensky. While that might not look as impressive as it was, because it was just pistols and a couple of armor sets, it was pretty darn impressive, because he picked up a triple and would have picked up a quad without them being even able to reply whatsoever. Obviously, running through the smoke was kind of hindering them. But still, Tensky definitely with some really nice shots right there. But we're back into a full buy here for alternate attacks. We have the AWP and a couple of AKs, plus a lot of utility. So let's see what they make of this, as they already managed to sneak their way into mid. And looking to get boosted up in window, it feels like. Again, smokes on short, smokes towards jungle. This is going to be a complete A execute. But with a bit of a twist, Bubble is still on lower. Oh my god! Gets a triple. There's my guess finally doing some damage, but the bomb is dropped right there in the open, and Bubble literally just sprayed him down one after the other, and that was such spray control. My God.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was absolutely amazing. Wow. I haven't seen such good spray control in quite a while. He literally just held down mouse 1 and landed only headshots. That is Scream level mouse control. Except instead of tapping, he just sprayed all of them down. Nothing happening there for alternate. Bubble says no. End of discussion. They get completely wrecked. Sent backpacking to T-spawn. Try again next time. Door is shot on the A-bomb site. And now, it's one of those. We got loss bonus. We're gonna have to keep buying. Otherwise, well, 7-4. It's now looking more likely to be 10-5 or even 11-4 to Rogue, as alternate, despite winning that, and Tico haven't had much luck since.
Well, at least they pick up these 2 franks towards middle. Might spot out the third, and yes, there we go. Kadian just pushing his luck a bit too much. No fire support in that connector, and he got a bit sidestep. Did not expect someone to be there, but Bubble still doing work on the side himself. Picks up a double. He finally goes down now in the 1v2. Surely Victor is not going to be able to clutch this one, as the terrorists actually managed to get into a safe position to plant. No need to peek at this point, but Victor is already hunting. Victor is already trying to find someone. The Frank grenade is going to be lobbed right on the face of Syken as he moves into Firebox. He didn't really have to go there. He wasn't there to begin with. But let's see if Victor manages to make it out of there alive. Not going to happen. Gets sprayed down as he pushes through the smoke. So at least alternate attacks do manage to get this 5th one on the board. Still, very close round. Very close first half here. As well, they did get the win, but because they lost so many members, they're going to be pretty much broke if they lose next one.
That's the main issue here. Don't get economy reset. If you get economy reset, bang, that's it. 10-5 hard. I'm not even taking any comments on that, because, okay, they won 1 force buy. I don't imagine Rogue will sleep up twice. It's going to be very hard. And what are they going to do to counteract the fact that they're going to get decode? Well, a simple A execute does the job most of the time on Mirage. Rogue only have 1 player on the A bomb side, and it's likely Bubble going to transition into a retake setup. Nothing else alternate. If they go out now, they'll at least get the bomb down, and then play after plans they can work from that.
Well, Bubble again trying to do his best on the A side, pretty much alone. The Frank grenade gets lobbed in, and he's down very, very low, but still hanging on. Finally, Syken's going to drop him. Good hold by Tensky, though. Will drop Crispy, who was going a bit too ham through the smokes himself. As the retake is in position, the CTs are trying to position themselves to get this one done, but well, the angle was a bit superior for Syken, although Glaze gets a 2-for-1. So that's the retake well and truly underway. Both walking from connector. As he spawned, they need to get this frag in the well 3v1. Now they know exactly where Mycas is on the side. Instead he gets thrown in there, and that's the perfect retrade, refrag, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Finally, Tensky's gonna spot on the bomb, and Rogue 8-5.
Alternate, no money. None whatsoever. Do they force buy this one and then force buy the last round, or do they eco this one and buy the last one? Either way, it's not optimal for them. I think they'll eco this one. 9-6 is an acceptable half, better than having a guaranteed 10-5. Showing us some things, just perhaps a bit clumsy around the edges. That time, it almost worked out, but the retake for Rogue was just superior. Alternate did what they wanted to. They got the opening frag, they had control of CT. Glaze just comes in and gets a double, and that was it. Some superior firepower that swung that round, not much else in this round. Seems like it's going to be a B rush with 4 deagles, no flashbangs, and I think they're realizing that, hang on, this is not the best idea we've ever had, and players already start backing off.
Oh, Victor playing that edge of the smoke, but his feet might be showing. I think he tried to go for a one-way smoke, but that didn't really work out. Probably gets shut down by Crispy. That's going to be a 1-for-1 as Bubble gets one on the A side. Good frag grenade right in the middle of the terrace as Glaze still doing damage, but the M4 now on Crispy could do so much damage. Open up the B side, get the bomb planted pretty much. Nobody else on the side itself. They are kind of expecting someone else to be there. Crispy, I don't even know. He's completely panicking right now. He almost shot Oscarish right there as the M4 gets lobbed in there, but I think Tensky spotted this one, and there's Peak. Oscarish knows that someone is trying to flank them. Bubble already on the retake. Incendiar's gonna land perfectly. Gets one, gets almost a second, but Oscarish still holding on. Finally gonna get dropped by Tensky, and this is a 2v1 that I don't think Sykeson's gonna be able to win, not with a deagle.
No, but he did his damn best, and so did the entire alternate team, taking advantage of some pretty suspect B-play there by Rogue. Victor pushing up into the smokes, not sure what he wanted to do. The minute he saw that, well, they didn't really have actual guns, just backed off. You don't push up close range against pistols, that promptly gets you shot in the face, as he found out on top of the dresser. In the end, it didn't work out for Alternate, but that was scary. Nico, without any armor, at that point, if Alternate had actually forced into that round, they probably would have picked it up. So Rogue should pretty much figure that they got gifted one there, because if Alternate had armor, that was the end. Just sloppy play there, and they'll need to tighten it up for at least this round to make it a 10-5. Otherwise, 9-6 for Alternate, pretty reasonable for them.
Another incendiary being thrown in there, just trying to split up the terrorists. Now Victor's gonna have to play alone on the side, doesn't get spotted. Finally they find him, he spots the bomb, gets only one frag, and well, Oscarish has made his way all the way into market, so already as the rotation comes through, he's ready for it. He's getting frags. 3v3. Still not planted though, and that's gonna be happening now. So they have market under control, they have apartments under control, but they don't have any kind of vision on short. Not that they need it, but the CTs will be able to make their way in there from that position. There's the opt. Cadian trying to find the shot, and he will be able to spot out Oscarish. Crispy holding the angle, spots out one. Cadian goes down in the meantime. Seriously behind the truck, gets the timing right, and drops Glaze back into 2v2, but the CT is still with the superior HP. And now with the superior numbers, they just need to find that last frag. They will be successful in doing so. And Rogue are going to go 10-5 in this first half. Very well played so far.
Overall, just did slightly more. Alternate had a pretty good last 2 rounds, and overall had good rounds throughout. Just, I think it's the effect that Rogue have been together slightly longer, not for that much longer, but just slightly longer, that's shining through. They have a few setups on the CT side. We saw that mid-aggression twice, just enough, spice it in. Variety is the spice of life. Or in CSGO, it actually picks you up rounds, and Rogue to end up going 10-5 up. Pretty respectable scoreline for them. Alternate will be upset not to pick up the 6th round, especially as they got so close in the last 2 rounds, but it just wasn't meant to be. They go into the CT side, down on score. We're probably looking to pick up the pistol round to get themselves back into this game.
Definitely would be needed. Much welcome, I guess, is the word. But we'll see if they manage to do that. We'll see how they decide to play it. Usually, you know, 4 armors plus a smoke and a diffuse. I wonder, it's gonna come down as to how Rogue play this pistol. What's going on? Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it.
Are you reading chat? Please don't read chat. Please
I'm not
tell
reading chat.
Okay, what did I say then?
You said nothing. I just coughed.
Okay. I thought you were reading chat because I see people trying to be funny, but they're not.
Just clear up the flag misconception, because I do feel like a lot of people don't understand it. It's actually set by the Steve Klein, which sets it on two parameters. The first one is which flag the team themselves actually set up on the page. The second is the team captain, which could be the manager. I don't actually know their roster. Picks the flag from that guy, even if he's not, for example, paid for the actual tournament. This one doesn't have an interview, for example. It picks that flag. So it seems like he's Swedish, and that's why, well, 3 Danes plus 2 Bulgarians, is this what happens because we're from those countries? You end up with the Swedish flag, which I'm sure is a political nightmare for a few of those countries, but that's just why the flag is Swedish.
Yeah, people are triggered. I see that a lot. But, you know, guys, just bear with us. You guys know the truth. You know where the players are from. You follow Rogue, and everything is fine. You know, no major issue, and we're going to fix it until next time. Definitely, we're gonna do that. But you know, we're back into the pistol round. Let's see how they play it. No diffuse kit and no smoke on alternate aTTaX, and on the other side we have a smoke and a flash for Rogue. So it looks like a standard setup coming up for the terrorists, but not so standard for the CTs.
We saw that before in the first match today. It basically means the CTs are going for aggression, and that indeed seems to be the case. They check out B, bang, rotate to A. You don't need a diffuse kit if you're already prepared for the retake, and that exactly seems to be the case as the entire Rogue lineup is streaming into the A side.
Comeback is live. Comeback spamming chats already, but Cadian gets the first frag, so that's not the start of a comeback, at least not any that I've seen. Let's see, a 4v5 bomb already planted, long range for Tensky with the P250 as well, so he's going to be in some prime position just getting those frags in. They can use the Glocks to body block the CTs from getting into this slope area, and they are doing pretty much exactly that, pushing a bit too aggressively out there, but not that the terrorists, not that the terrorists scared. There's no diffuse kit right now on the CTs, and they can't really stick it, because there's still plenty of the terrorists to just interrupt them, so the bomb's going to go kaboom. It's just a matter of letting the CTs burn with it. One alive for the terrorists, and Rogue pick up the pistol.
Alternate just needed to run in there. No stopping. You don't, you check the angles, of course, but you have to run in there. You have to run into ramp, and you have to send 1 or 2 guys there to hold off the 3 ramp players once you figure out they're there. Instead, they played, well, a retake setup without a kit or a smoke, which worked out about as well as expected, and sadly for them, it's the expected is losing that round and getting knocked onto a force buy. Let's see if history repeats itself, though. Alternate aTTaX did pick up the force buy on their half after losing the pistol round at the game start.
It's going to be another execute towards the A side. Looks like smokes and flashes getting set up right now. Not blooming just yet, but that's just going to allow Bubble to get an early frag to Mike just before the smoke blooms and pretty much protects the CT from Bubble's threat. And, well, what? Gets the headshot onto Crispy as well. 5v1 as Oscar is still alive. Gets the scout shot onto Tensky. It's still 4v1, so if he gets out of the alive, he's going to be able to save the helmet and the armor, but that's pretty much it. And he needs to run away now. I think Lace just spotted him, and he's just holding the angle, gonna go for the peak, and waiting for the flank to come through.
Lace doesn't actually have the HP to go for the peak there. He's gonna get shot by the scout, but yeah. Cadian is coming in from the back, and it's Glace and Cadian that are hunting. The 2 with the UMPs who don't really care if they lose those guns. Just an SMG, and it works out a treat. Cadian picks up a kill, gets himself $600. Skirmish doesn't save the armor or the scout, which would be very helpful in the next round, and instead Alternate go into this one with no money, maybe a P250 or 2 on Sykin and Oscarish. It's about as much as they can get, otherwise they're already sacrificing utility to pick up these 1 or 2 P250s. Sacrifice any more utility, it's going to be harder if Rogue just play it slow the next round. Even this round's going to be incredibly hard for them.
This one is going to be pretty hard as far as CSGO rounds go. As well, they are stacking slope, and this might actually work out well. They already do a lot of damage to Victor, and he goes down, but while they continue pushing, they're not happy enough. They wanted to go for the pickup of the weapon, which gets promptly shut down in its butt. And, well, Oscarish, P250, no armor, quickly gets shut down by Cadian with the UMP. 13-5, 3 more rounds to go for Rogue to take this one and move into the semi-final of this arcade. Esports Arcade Arena, which is going to be happening tomorrow, 5 p.m. CET. Semi-final starts, best of 3, no best of 1 shenanigans anymore. We are in the real deal tomorrow.
Indeed, and we still have one semi-final to fill out. The third semi-finalist of that one will be decided in this match, Rogue or Alternate. So far it's looking like more Rogue, and in the next match, which is going to be Penta versus North, so more German teams showing up. We still have to finish off this one as Rogue going for heavy short control and spamming through smoke. Both of these teams are actually spamming through smoke, Rogue and Alternate, and not much damage gets exchanged. My guess is down to 26 HP, but the terrorists are all full and have control of short. Frisbee keeps on pushing here. He might actually run into 3 terrorists, and that's not going to be the best thing.
They're going to be pop flashing themselves in there, and well, they spot out one, they spot out the second one. Good decision from the CTs, both picking one target, and they both get 1 frag for the cost of 1 in the end, because Tansky just still holding in there. As you said, they weren't expecting 3 terrorists to be in there. 2, they can live with. 3, well, that was a surprise. So 3v4 for the CT's Alternate Tanks, trying to stay alive in this tournament. Obviously, a single elimination tournament, best of 1 map. You win or you're done. And obviously, if you don't get into the semi-final, you also get no money, no prize pool whatsoever. So let's see. Sirson is going to get the frag there fairly easily. Victor was completely unaware that he's already being flanked, which leaves the last 2 terrorists in a bit of an awkward situation, but they're going to make the best of it as they get the frag onto Syken and move on to the side. The incendiary should flush out Oskarish, but apparently he's just holding the angle. There's Bubble getting the frag. Oskarish goes down. Sirson on the flank should spot out Bubble, and Bubble goes down. No, Tensky alone on the side. 1v2. Is he going to be able to do it? Has to go for the bomb plant. No time remaining, and well, that's the time that the CTs are going to pounce. So 6 rounds on the board for Alternate.
At least they pick up the rifle round, and it's not impossible. CT side on Mirage is pretty strong. We've seen more improbable things as, well, there's some banter going on in the chat. Sadly, stream doesn't see that, or, well, not sadly, stream does not see that. But it is going to be round 20. Rogue still on a full buy, and Alternate, they lost quite a few members, are going to be down to an ump on Oskarish. What he's going to do with that, and Mike's running out into the middle of the sniper nest, not sure what he was expecting, and the terrorists probably weren't expecting him either. Do a bit of a double take and say, hey, free kind of terrorist, and Syken goes down as well. Yeah, 2v5, 2v5, and that's pretty much a safe call already for Alternate.
It should be, but it isn't, because Tensky's going to pick up the frag on Oskarish. He was already halfway through the murder hole when you said that the save call should be happening. So I guess he was committed at that point, which is not really going to help the CT's economy whatsoever. Sirson is, you know, trying to stay alive, but he's still playing on the slope. He's not really backing off. He knows that the flank might be coming any second out from the terrace, and he's just happy staying behind in a corner, having the 90-degree angle to take care of and hope for the best right now. Victor is going to be sneaking his way, well, not really sneaking, but quick peeking into that haze slope eventually, and just gets obliterated. But all that he's done, well, he lost 1 rifle. They're not going to be too heartbroken about that, and they know exactly where Sirson is. So it's just a matter of taking him out before he does too much damage. So 2 frags, I guess that's respectable.
It's respectable if you're on an eco. It's not respectable if you're on a rifle round. Obviously, when you take the circumstances into account, it is fully respectable because it was basically a 2v5, and finding 2 frags there is okay. Additional problem is, you don't really have rounds to play with. Economy doesn't matter when the enemy team is going to be on 15 and can basically suck up eco rounds as much as they want. They're going to get a full buy that's going to bust through your scoreline eventually. So Alternate need all the rounds they can get, and their job is getting that much harder minute by minute, especially as eco round, not even armor on Sis, and all fully committed into this one. Basically, Sisson's the only one with any cash left, but they need this round. That's the only problem. 15-6, that's just such a daunting scoreline to go up against.
The daunting part is probably also the AKs, and Bubble is, well, just
on
watching
fire.
the angle, waiting for the push. The information actually gathered by the CTs is good enough. They don't need to push forward, to be quite honest.
I don't know. Did Sisson spot Bubble there? I think he did, and Bubble spotted him as well. That actually gives the CT some information, but if they spotted him, surely they'd be either falling back to more defensive position or stacking a bomb site. Not really sure what's going on here. And I don't think Rogue know what's going on here. Is just creeping up middle, slowly trying to find where the CTs are. Same token, CTs aren't sure where the tourists are, and it's just a bit of a Mexican standoff at the moment. Nobody wanting to make the first move.
The terrorists, though, will have to do it eventually. 35 seconds remaining, and they are moving towards the A side now, trying to pincer in the CTs left there. There's Bubble, finally making his way in there. He knew that one of the CTs spotted him, and well, that was Searson. Syken going down as well to Tensky. And the A side completely taken. They spot out Mike Cass on the side, but not quick enough on the trigger. Bubble will pick it up, but not before Mike Cass finally dropped Victor. 4v2 now on the retake. Crispy with a brilliant 1-dig. And brings it back, but he's gonna have to land a couple more, and he does! He gets it into a 2v2, but still very low on HP. There's the AK picked up for Oscarish, and Crispy with the Deagle still. Well, it has been working out for him, but they can't really go through the mud hole, so it just the CT retake left.
That will wait for the terrorists to make a mistake, and Bubble's not going through the murder hole, so they have to go onto this, but the bomb's perfectly planted. They can just crossfire it anyway. They have to do absolutely nothing, and Crispy's already down. Oscar 20 HP, still going for it, but again, it's one of those you've got to save. As soon as the bomb went down and they both had to go for CT, they should have just gone for the save. There was really no other option. Instead, both guns are lost because you couldn't check the angles, you didn't have a kit, you didn't have the utility to go for a defuse, you had absolutely nothing. And now you have even less, as it's a Citizen on an M4, 257s, a Deagle, a CZ, a bit of utility, and a push-up mid, which is going to be received by Tensky, who's promptly going to start backing off here.
He is indeed already in a defensive position, but he's gonna get spotted out, and there's the Deagle again. This time for Oscarish, though. Tensky drops Tensky. There's a rifle dropped. I don't know if they actually went for it. Yeah, they did. Crispy picking that one up. There's the M4 and still. So the terrorists, though, in the meantime, already on the B side. So they're not too crazy about this one, but they need to sneak their way past that middle area. And Searson already on the retake, which is not needed just yet, drops Cadian and brings it down into a 3-on-5, I should say.
Pretty good for Alternate, all things considered, having, well, absolutely nothing to start with, and they know where, does Crispy know where Glace is as well? Finds him, gets the frag, and now, well, Victor does have the bomb in B abs, but Bubble's nowhere to be found. Frisbee spots Victor here, which I think he should, oh my god, he's actually not seeing him. He should be able to see him eventually, or if he just waits, 2v5 is going to be almost impossible.
Never mind, Bubble is still alive, so it's still possible. There's the one shot, and there's the second. Not gonna happen. Victor, though, in the meantime, well, everything was happening on the A side. Well, he got the frag, and he got the entry onto the B side. Right now, 2v1. Searson and Oscarish burning down almost to 0. Both trying to go from that same exit as the Deagle and the, well, now the AK finally takes out, but no, Victor gets the frag, dropped to half. 1v1 situation, the smoke is still on the side, the bomb is sinking away, flash is coming across. Searson has to move quickly, and everything that he's gonna be doing is pretty much dying, so